The LG Procast, the podcast, is intended for informational and entertainment purposes only. The views or opinions expressed by the podcast hosts and guests do not necessarily reflect the official position of LG. For the latest and most accurate information about LG products, please consult relevant product manuals and related documentation. The information provided in this podcast episode is for informational purposes only and does not constitute professional advice. While we strive to provide accurate and up-to-date information, we make no representation or warranties of any kind, express or implied, about the completeness, accuracy, reliability, or suitability of the information for any specific application in the following discussion. LG and those posting or otherwise providing information, content, or material are not responsible or liable for any consequences relating directly or indirectly to any action or inaction you take based on the information, content, or other material on the podcast.
Hey guys, welcome to this episode of the LG Procast. We're here at AHR 2026 in Las Vegas. It's bright and early before day 2 gets kicked off. I'm your host, Phillip Craigbaum, with Terry Fresenda here, and we've got a special guest here with us. Terry, will you introduce David for us?
We do. Mr. David Augustine from our LG Component Solutions Group. David, good morning and welcome.
Yeah, hey, thank you guys for having us. Appreciate it. It's good to come out and introduce at least our side. It's always hidden to the rest of the LG world and frankly to the rest of the HVAC world at times.
Tell us what our side is. What is our Component Solutions?
Our side, yes. Our side is the Component Solutions Group. So we are the base component of every HVAC, manufacturer out there.
So if I hear you correctly, you're telling me that the Component Solutions Group of LG, we manufacture compressors, and then they're used in legacy manufacturers here in the United States.
That is correct.
Interesting.
Yeah, and not just HVAC, right? I mean, you were telling me a little bit ago. What all markets do you tap into other than just HVAC?
Yeah, so we've expanded. We started out here in North America specifically for the HVAC market, but because of our growth and our name getting more recognized, we have expanded into pool heat pump, other heat pump manufacturing companies, heat pump water heater. So we have really dove deep into this whole heat pump world and have expanded greatly into that. And then on top of that, we've expanded into commercial refrigeration, ice making, general refrigeration. So we have a complementary line to help out with that as well.
Interesting. So low temp, medium temp, high temp.
That is
commercial
correct.
Refrigeration. Interesting. I didn't know that either.
No.
And I've been here, 2 weeks or 3 weeks.
I mean, I know LG made a lot of compressors worldwide. We make lots and lots of them for lots of different applications, like you were just talking about. But let's bring it back to HVAC and unitary, and I kind of want to hit the big elephant in the room, right? We had some issues in our first gen compressors that were being sold to other OEMs, and I just want to address that before we get.
I'm sure our audience would like to know as well, right?
Yeah,
So tell us what went on and what we've done since then.
Yeah. So our first gen compressors, when we made them, put them out in the field, we designed them for a specific window, specific tolerance. When came to find out as they were out in the field and performing, they were getting pushed beyond that window. So we had to go back fairly quickly to resolve those issues. And we fixed them and changed them out in our Gen 2, which was released very quickly versus our Gen 1. And what you would see is a traditional cycle of improvement when it comes to compressor manufacturing and compressor design. So we got that Gen 2 out that came through all the way from R22 into 410A. And then we finally dropped in 410A as we made that transition into 454B.
What exactly was the issue?
So it was several, how would I say this? The easiest way to put it is this. We had some of our components not robust enough to handle maybe some startup issues, maybe high power startups, or areas where the compressor is going to receive higher stress than what we thought it would have seen. And because of that, those particular components failed and they just did not meet what we were supposed to meet. Yep. That's the easiest way to say it. But we owned it. We took it back. We worked with our suppliers, we worked with our designers, and we worked even more so with our OEM customers to rectify the issues, because we were the new guy in the field. And one of the big things is as you enter a new market or you introduce yourself to a new market, it doesn't matter that it's LG, it could be anybody else out there. The biggest thing you'll see is that everybody's going to look at you under a microscope on what quality should be, what you should deliver on, and how you should do it. And we were held under a microscope where our competitors at this point, well established, were probably held under a magnifying glass. So any minute issue or challenge that comes up is always going to be brought up and said the loudest.
You know, Phillip and I have an opportunity to stand in front of contractors around the country. And, you know, both of us will say many times over that this, you know, we sell a mechanical piece of equipment and mechanical stuff breaks. That's why there are service parts. That's why there are service industries. How you respond, how we respond is the difference between whether or not you do what you guys have done, which is, and I read the data this morning, so it's fresh in my mind. Your sales have grown 81% from 2019 to 2025, 81%. That means you got something right.
Yeah.
All right. And your sales efforts show in the results. So congratulations. Good job.
Thank you.
Terry, I think we see it just in the field, just talking to contractors. You know, we obviously wearing the LG logo, you know, they come to us with all things LG that's on their mind. And 5 years ago, I would hear about, oh, I had a handful of LG compressors that went out and, you know, that was frustrating and whatever. I don't get those comments anymore. You know, and if it is, it's, oh, let me tell you a story about way back when. It's, to your point, you know, we addressed it, and that's important.
HVAC contractors have a very long memory when something goes wrong.
I'd love to tell you about it.
And for decades, and a very short memory when it comes to the stuff that you do right.
Right.
So that's just an inherent trait of this trade. So,
That is very, very true, right?
Yeah.
You know, the cool thing is this. We've gone to other events over the past, and we would get people to come up to us and they say, hey, that Gen 1 was, you know, this happened and that happened. And then we'll ask them, you're right. You know, of course it's right. But, you know, we're now on Gen 3. How's Gen 2 operating? You have a Gen 2?
Yeah.
All I see is I'm repairing something else now. I'm like, well, I'm happy to hear that.
So I know off camera, when we were speaking, I had a question for you. I want to ask about you. So we have this compressor, the R1 compressor, and it's our cold climate performer. We put it in all of our cold climate heat pumps, and have been guilty in the past of saying, I know we sold compressors to legacy manufacturers, but we held the R1 as ours. And by ours, I mean LG. And so I asked David off camera, David, are we selling the R1 compressor to legacy manufacturers now? And I was hoping for a resounding no, but that's not the answer I got, is it?
No. We are releasing that R1. We did it last year for legacy manufacturers, and actually anyone new out there who's trying to take advantage of these heat pump technology. It's the hottest thing around, as you guys all know right now. That is in the buzzword for a while. And the cool thing about this R1 compressor is it takes the scroll technology that we've developed and got better at, and I've put it into a frame size of a rotary. So it is smaller, more compact, right? It helps a lot of these manufacturers out, creating cabinets and spaces tinier than what they would have thought to need it before. And with that, you know, you guys have gone out there and done a lot of testing. So you mentioned cold climate. We're currently rated right now with the whole cold climate heat pump challenge at -20. But we do have customers out there that are testing these units in Alaska, you know, up by the Arctic Circle at -40 to see what that performance looks like. So hopefully the testing comes back extremely positive in the next few years, and you can see -40 listed on there rather than -20.
Yeah, we actually had a group last year here at AHR, was that testing group from Alaska that we talked about. And we introduced last year at AHR our Cool Deluxe, which in a couple of sizes is rated to -31 currently, and then shooting for some deeper temperature. So it's really exciting what you guys are doing on the compressor development that's being integrated into our complete systems here on our side that we get to go out and get excited about and tell everybody and you guys do the hard work, so appreciate that and make our jobs fun and easy. If somebody stops by your booth here at AHR, what are some of the cool things that you just are excited to tell people that are happening right now on your team?
Oh yeah. So for us, we have a couple more launches of our rotary heat pumps. The awesome thing about that is they're going into heat pump water heater applications here in the United States and North America. It's built on some awesome tech that we have developed with HQ over the past years. And that is going to be the next wave of the future when it comes to water heating. As you guys know, 2029, 2020, and 2030 is the regulation change.
Yep.
So all electric water heaters have to become heat pump.
Right.
No change in there. And we have spent a lot of time perfecting this rotary tech to meet some of these standards. But on top of that, because it's a rotary, we've worked very, very hard to keep it cost competitive. At the end of the day, water heaters are one of those items where if something goes wrong, you're going to take that whole thing out of your house and replace it with a new one, right? So knowing that, we had to come up and work with our manufacturers to design a rotary compressor that is cost effective. And that's what we've done. So when you come by, you can take a look at that. And then as we go further down here, we have now released our fans and our fan motors for the rest of the OEM groups. We've had this fan technology since the 70s. We created it, we fostered it, and we grew it. And now we want to give it to you guys. So I encourage you guys to come by, take a look at our fans, take a look at our ECM motors, and see what we have to offer on that side as well. And then,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, I was going to say, and then the last piece, and I think this is probably the best part of this whole thing, is with our scrolls and our rotaries. We're obviously doing what we can to create efficiencies to make things better. So we have a lot of variable speed applications. But with variable speed applications, you need to have an inverter to help control a lot of this stuff. And out in the market right now, we have tons of inverters from different manufacturers that can do this job. But what we have done and what we've understood from our customers is that keeping the inverter at a certain temperature is key, and not adding any more elements to either keep it warm or keep it cold. So if you come by our booth, you get to see what we have done, which is a little bit different, as we actually created a heat tube line to the inverter that plugs into the compressor line.
So that brings me to a question. If on the display systems out front for our unitary product line, is that refrigerant line that's coming out of the compressor that goes across the inverter board and that's in like an aluminum clamshell?
Correct. So think about the heat sinks on your computers at home with your gaming PCs and your servers. We've done the exact same thing there. And it just made a lot of sense. Everybody's out to save as much power as possible.
Yeah, instead of air that changes temperature, trying to keep it within a certain range, and that the air you're using to cool it or warm it is changing.
Mm-hmm.
Just do it right off the compressor.
Exactly.
Love it.
Love it. That's super.
I want to back up and I want to say something that you said again for everybody listening. So if you guys have not started looking at heat pump water heaters and looked at that technology as HVAC tradesmen, as plumbers, it's coming very, very quickly. A lot of plumbers are a little bit resistant to it because there's more components than what they're used to working on, and it's a little bit scary. Well, you guys need to start learning a little bit about this technology. And HVAC guys, this is a great opportunity to expand your businesses and to get into that sector of offering water heaters. So I know that's a little bit of a rabbit trail, but you said it, and I just wanted to repeat it for these guys that are listening in, that's important.
Right. Yeah.
We've said the same thing to, our manufacturers that we work with, and they've said the same thing to their customers as well. This is a huge opportunity to expand. And I think it's especially so for the HVAC guys and all those installers out there. It's a new market for them. They already know what compressor technology is going on. They already know all of this other stuff. It is just another added feature to do it. And, if you listen to the people walking around, the installers here, a lot of them have now said that, yeah, I've now went from zero knowledge of water heaters to I'm installing, 2-3 a month. And they're like, this is a new market, new avenue for revenue for us, and a new way to drive home a complete solution.
Yeah. I mean, just as an LG team, we're sitting over here selling LG air conditioners with that name and badge on it. It's just, I love that we don't have to go and outsource our compressors. We don't have to go outsource our motors. Like, our family is building all that for us. It's just cool to know that LG, from a big picture standpoint, is the one behind all of that.
Yeah, I have mixed emotions. As a bleeding LG person, I'm like, keep it all, I want it all. I want
Right? Yeah. I don't want to sell it.
can't have any of it. But my 401k says, go to work. Let's go to work, David.
Right.
Go out there and sell more, David.
We started as a foundation from our components, is the compressors, the motors. I mean, you look at the rest of the whole group, the LED panels, everything like that. Why not give it to the rest of the world to take advantage of, right? It's one of the, because once they have it, then we can get better and make something better next time.
Absolutely.
Right. Because I mean, that's what funds the R&D for the next generation. That's right. Is, I mean, all what's the rising tide raises all boats, or something like that.
A rising tide raises all.
Yeah. So I
That's
mean,
the one.
it's exciting. It really is exciting. So, David, anything else you want to share? We're kind of wrapping up on our time limit here, but anything else you want to add?
I would say this: if you're here at AHR, please come to the booth, take a look at our stuff. If you didn't come to AHR, I really encourage you guys to dig deep on our website, look through and see what you want. So contact us. We'll be more than happy to reach out to you guys. The cool thing is this: when you reach out to us, you reach out to us directly. You're not going through a distributor or a third-party manufacturer. You come to LG directly. We come out and help you guys out.
Perfect. Awesome. David, thank you. Thank you for being here this morning. Thank you and your team for all that you do that kind of makes our job fun and easy on our side, where we get to sell some of your stuff in our products. So it's a pleasure to meet you and to spend some time together and to learn more about what the big LG family does. So I just appreciate the time this morning.
Yeah, I thank you guys so much. It's awesome to get some FaceTime, in the sense of, we want to make sure that everybody knows we're not just a total home solution or a business solution platform. We're also a component solution platform as well.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate you guys giving us the time to get out there and show our names up.
Certainly our pleasure. So from day 2, from AHR here in Las Vegas, LG Procast, we just want to say thanks. Thanks to all our listeners. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Phillip, closing remarks.
That's it, man. I appreciate you guys, and we look forward to seeing you on the next episode of the LG Procast. Bye now.
See you guys.
Thank you.